Hello, everybody. Glad to see you again. So we're going to do something today for beginners. And what I remember many years ago when I started learning, and there was bands, whether it was Cream or Jimi Hendrix or Led Zeppelin, it seemed like back then you're kind of struggling to learn chords, play some single string lines, improvise a little bit, and then you kind of, from some way or another, you learn parts of a song. I remember back then, I could just play parts of a song, but that was pretty cool because you're a beginner and you're like thinking, wow, I can play that same thing Jimmy Page or Eric Clapton was playing. As time goes by, you got better and you could learn the whole song if you were going to play it in a band or you felt like it. But for beginners, it's kind of like encouraging that you can get a few things under your fingers that are something that you hear the professionals do. So I'm going to start that now with a few of the bands that I really enjoyed early on when I was learning. Cream, Jimi Hendrix, Led Zeppelin. I'm just going to show you parts, and it may be something you already know or something you might want to just start working on, and then maybe play the whole song as time goes by. So I saw Led Zeppelin twice, when they were coming out many years ago. And they, at that point in time became one of my favorite bands. But I really only listened or bought 2 LPs, the first and the second. I heard everything else they did pretty much on the radio and played some of the songs in the bands, but I never absorbed the albums and the album cuts that much as I did with the first 2 albums. So anyway, we're going to start with Communication Breakdown. And that's pretty a simple song, and it's mostly chords. E major, D major, A major, D, and then it goes into an A7th bar chord and a B7th bar chord. So this is where it is, where it's like E, that was just playing E for how many beats? 4 beats, and then quickly D, A, D, A, D, and basically that's the verse that comes around, 3 or 4 times. When it goes to the chorus, it goes to the bar chord, A7th and B7th. That's Communication Breakdown. If you heard when I'm playing the bar chords, I'm kind of like focusing on the bass notes and then the bottom or the top 3 strings to kind of emphasize up. Okay, Communication Breakdown. How many more times? That was another riff that I learned early on, and that was kind of cool to play, which is basically open E, pretty simple. I'm doing open E, and then I'm going on the A string E to D, back to a B, back to the D, and then open E again, and then the same notes. Now, of course, most of these songs are played Jimmy Page using, Les Paul, maybe he had a Gibson SG, and he's got a certain amount of, amp distortion going on. I'm just playing it clean right now, but to really get the sound right, you need the right amplifier and you need the right pedal and distortion. The other one I wanted to show you was Dazed and Confused, okay? And that's, again, an E, and then we're going to go to the G note. So if you've listened to any of my other lessons about chromaticism, that's just moving along half notes up and down different strings. And that's basically what this song is. After you hit the open E, you're going to go to G, F sharp, F, E. You're going to hit the E again, and then go to the D with a little bend there on the C note. So I went from D, C sharp, C to B. And you could do it in different spots if you want to. I could actually have done the first part down here. Open E and the G, you got the G here and you got a G here. Might be easier for some people. Then you just go right to the 5th fret on the A string. And then when you want to do the high part, you go up to your top 2 strings, E and B, and you start on that 14th fret, 15, 14, 13, 12. That's basically that part. And the other part I remember learning when I was, not doing the whole song was when you play the B later on in the song is. And I'm just hitting the B power chord on the B bar chord. And then you're just pretty much utilizing the 7th and 9th frets on the A string and the D string. And let's see, the other part, pretty sure it's in this song, before the lead. I don't know, maybe it's how many more times, but anyway, it's. And again, it's pretty much pentatonic in B, where I'm just utilizing the 7th and 9th fret. But I'm doing it faster, up tempo. And then it goes into a solo. I wanted to get into Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You, the song that's also on Led Zeppelin 1. But I think I'm going to do one video on that because it's a little bit more involved and it's going to take a little bit more time. And we're already up to 8 minutes. So I'm going to get into the second album real briefly. I'm just going to show you the beginning of A Whole Lot of Love. So you're doing the A bar chord. Of course, when you go up here to the 7th fret, instead of the A with your first finger, you're basically doing the A with your ring finger. And that's, of course, the E chord. But we're going to your 7th and your 5th fret, and we're utilizing the E string and the A string. So it's really pretty easy. Back to the E chord. And I am starting on the A. So I think before I said, but you want to utilize that A. So anyway, that does that most of the time. Then it gets into the chorus, and it just kind of emphasizes the E chord. And really a very boring song to play, actually. But, it's kind of cool when you get into the solo. And the only other one that I want to show you from that Led Zeppelin 2 is, whatever it's called, I forgot. Heartbreaker. I haven't played it with the record for a long time. Maybe it's in another key, but I'm doing A on the E string. So you're kind of in the pentatonic, space again. You're going up from the E string A to C, and then you're going to the A string, chromatic, up from D to E, down to that G on the E string. And then it modulates. And then it goes back and forth. And I haven't played it in a band a long time, so maybe not showing you the exact way it goes, okay? But these are basically the main riffs. And that's kind of cool stuff, like I said to you. You're learning riffs from songs that you're hearing these massive, popular icons in rock guitar. And even as a beginner now, maybe there's no people out there that you really want to learn their riffs as much as the guys that started doing it 50 or more years ago. So that's what we're going to do today. And that's it for now. We're going to get back with, like I said, babe, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to do a video. I'm going to do something similar like this with Cream and Jimi Hendrix. And I may think of a few other bands that I like that I was learning riffs when I was young and not learning full songs yet. Keep following me. If you're on TikTok, remember that if something happens with TikTok, I am on YouTube at Steve Topel 9783. Love for you to keep coming back, sending me your comments, what you might want to learn. If anybody wants to send a tip, that's cool too. We'll see you next time. Stay well.